Tom's Corner coming at you once again. I'm Brian Hawkins with the man himself, Mr. Tom Persky. Good morning. How are you?
Brian Hawkins, how are you?
I'm good. I'm great. And, we were talking before we came in to tape the show, and you brought up something that I had never heard before, the fact that studies have been done, and it has shown that folks with low vision need 6 to 7 tools in order to be considered, functioning well?
That's correct. There's so many things that I think are misconceptions about low vision that people can get a really strong pair of glasses that might be the thing that really helps them, or a real strong magnifying glass. But each of the things that are very, very helpful to people with low vision only comprise a small subset of what they want to do in their everyday life. So I remember when I was first diagnosed and I was having difficulty reading, I was given a +8 pair of they were called full view reading glasses. And so they looked kind of like Coke bottles. And the thing about 8 diopter lenses is you have to hold things 5 inches away. So for the audience, if you're good at math, we will call it the 40-inch rule. So 40 inches divided by the power makes the focal distance. So if those glasses would have been 10 diopters, I would have had to hold it 4 inches away. 12 diopters, even closer. So the stronger the lens, the closer you have to hold things. And so that's a difficult, huge adjustment for people. In really having to hold things close and with a pair of reading glasses. Another thing that can be added to your toolkit would be a good reading light. So being able to have the light over the shoulder of your better seeing eye. You want the light lower than your eyes. And you want it kind of shining down on a 45-degree angle in between your glasses and the paper. So a lot of patients start out with +6 diopters, something like that. So they've got enough room to get that light right over the shoulder, right where they need it. Studies show that the light, just having the light, is like having 4 extra diopters of power. And people often overlook that. And so then I think the second thing would be like having a similar power or a little bit stronger power in some kind of a magnifying glass that you can carry with you. It could be illuminated or non-illuminated. So I remember when I first started, I used a 5X, which is 20 diopters, and then I was able to see small print, price tags, in the store, menu in a restaurant, that kind of a thing. Those are real helpful for people. But I was kind of embarrassed, to have to use those in a lot of situations, So I learned the trick of saying, tell me the top 3 things that people like to buy in this restaurant, so that it would give me their best dishes, and then I wouldn't have to be embarrassed at holding the menu 4 inches from my nose. But those days are over now. I don't care. I want to be able to do
your choice.
Exactly. So I don't worry about looking cool. I just worry about functioning, And so with camera systems now, you can actually have a video magnifier where you can zoom in and see the smallest type print at 10 times magnification or 15 times magnification. You can make the letters white on a black background. So we didn't have those little cameras in the old days, but those are starting to replace some of the people who were using optical magnifiers, because it gives you such a range and you can just dial in with the buttons the size that you need in every situation. For seeing in the distance, I use a 6 power or 6X monocular telescope. So if you're good at math, let's say your vision is 20/200 or considered legally blind. If you're using a 6X monocular telescope to see in the distance, like if I'm walking down the street to see a sign above a store or the number on a bus, you take that bottom number, 200, and then you divide by the power of the lens, 6. So you can see it's just a lot, gives you a lot better vision up close. Now, I still have a blind spot in the middle, so when I look through the telescope, I have to cheat. I have to look a little to the side, and that's called eccentric viewing.
Right.
And so that's a skill that you can learn, and you can teach yourself, and just pay attention to where you look And you can use that with your reading glasses. You can use eccentric viewing with your magnifying glass. You can use it with your telescope. Obviously, I have 2 or 3 times of wraparound sunglasses as part of my toolbox. So if it's a cloudy day, I have a bright amber lens. If it's a real sunny day, I have a deeper amber lens to protect. If there's snow on the ground, I have a 4% lens that blocks out all but 4% of the light. And then probably my most interesting tool when I travel through airports is my identity cane. So it's a white cane that folds up very small, fits in my pocket. Not to mention now these new tools. I use software, Zoom Text on my computer, and now with the iPad and the iPhone, we use those tools that are already built into that technology. So it's pretty amazing when you start to think about all the things. I think for a new person with low vision, the hardest part is trying to figure out what is out there to help me,
right? And
then which tools work in which situations. That takes a long time, and it's not easy because there's an adjustment with every tool that you get and how you use it properly, and so people give up and stuff. So, but don't give up. It's really important that you work towards finding out all about all the tools that are necessary to help you read and function in an everyday life.
This is the kind of thing where you just go about your life, and as you find yourself in different situations, you find that you need a solution to help you with your vision. So then you go and seek something out as opposed to trying to decide all at once everything that you'll need.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best, or what we say is a priority or top 10 list. You know, things that are the most important to you that you're frustrated doing or can't do anymore at all. Let's get some of those accomplished with a tool or 1 or 2 tools, and then go down the list and reprioritize, every so often. So I tell people, go to a low vision exam every year or every 2 years because your vision's changing and your top 10 list is changing. And so you need to keep up with what tools are out there to help you. And so you'll be surprised. Just, I know in our technology, every month or two, there's 2 or 3 new products. So if someone hasn't been here in 6 months or a year, we have lots to show you and be able to explain things that are coming out that weren't out before. Yeah.
Those wonderful toys.
Yeah, exactly.
And one place that you can keep up to date on what's going on is at the road shows, and we've got some coming up.
We're coming up Wednesday, September 30th. We're going to be at Frankfort at the Township Hall, which is 11,000 West Lincoln Highway. That's a really nice venue. It's open to the public. It's free. It's from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and we really like that venue in Frankfort, Illinois. October 6th, we're going to be at the Chicago Lighthouse North at our Glenview location. So we're going from way south to way north, and that is also from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Our Chicago Lighthouse North is 222 Waukegan Road in Glenview. If you live downtown, there's a train that stops at the Gulf Station. It's on the Milwaukee District North Line, and it's literally a block and a half from the train station. So people that live in the city that want to come out to the show, I fail to mention that sometimes, but it's the way that I get to Glenview, and it's really very easy if you live in the city. October 14th, we're also going to be out at Park Ridge in the northwest suburbs at the main township offices. So we've got some really good shows coming up, and we hope to see you there. A lot of people have been listening to our show and come to our shows. Just last week, we had a couple of families that had not heard the show before, and they said, we want to see that guy Tom. And that was great because we were able to meet and sit and talk and then show the devices that were the most helpful to them. So
right, and you're doing that conference in October, right?
We are, yeah, the October conference, which I forgot to talk about, but let's talk about that as it gets closer.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
All right, well, he's Tom Persky. He's got all the technology, and he's out there bringing you the road shows so you can come and see him. I'm Brian Hawkins. This is The Beacon.